Imagine you are running in a race and there are 10 people in that race, but you win it. And how do you win it? You see here, instead of shooting people, you decide to pay the rest 9 people that when you reach the finish line, you slow down. And that is how you win. This is what is called rigging. And today we are going to discuss about bid rigging, where companies pretend to compete in government contracts. Behind the scenes, they have already decided which company will win this contract, and rest of the companies are just pretending to try. Hi, this is Shunyatax Global, and today in the realm of lobbying, we'll be discussing shadow auctions, the billion-dollar game for bid rigging in public procurement. As of today, worldwide, all government or larger contracts can be only achieved by any company via bids, via auctions, except for few departments like national disaster management and all those sectors where there is an urgency and people don't wait for bids. To achieve those government contracts and to make sure that particular company only achieves it, there are various types of ways that people have found out to make sure that they achieve it. Today we'll be discussing about them and to ensure that how does a company make sure that they are surviving from the government contracts. First case I'm going to tell you about is the construction cartel in Mumbai. In 2018, Mumbai Municipal Corporation discovered that major infrastructures projects worth rupees 15,000 crores had been dominated by a small group of contractors. Investigations revealed that there were 61 qualified firms to bid. Only 10 were participating out of 61 and rest of them actively stayed. As a result, the average winning bid was 5.2% lower than the maximum price set by the government. So let's say the government contract price is 100 and people were bidding to take that contract as low as possible. When the other decided to not participate, the price which would have been approx 80 for that particular contract was taken by the contractor for approx 95 rupees because of this silent partner strategy in this bid rigging process. And then this investigative journalist came who discovered that these contractors were not competing. They were instead taking turns, meaning they were like, okay, you take this one, you take next one, you take third one, you take fourth one, and then in all of the others will just stay silent. In 2019, Gujarat Highway Construction, 6 construction firms submitted a bid of rupees 1200 crores for highway expansion project. While all 6 submitted proposals, 5 contained deliberately unworkable conditions, like requiring payment schedules the government had explicitly ruled out. Basically, they bid and they disqualified themselves by putting up the conditions of the rules that the government explicitly denied. This is known as complementary bidding, where only one person actually qualifies the rules that the government set, and all the other bidders make sure that their contracts, that their proposals have such rules or have such conditions that are explicitly not allowed by the government. This disqualifies all the other people, and the remaining person, who is only the qualified persons, wins the bid. Another case here is when there was this Commonwealth Games held in India in 2010. What happened is there were 7 firms supplying sports and fitness equipments to the Commonwealth community over 3 years and 18 contracts worth rupees 230 crores. What's interesting is each of the 7 firm got the exact ratio of those 18 contracts of their actual market share in the industry. Let's say Fit India Supply Limited, which has a market share of 50% in the Indian market industry, got the 50% contract from Commonwealth Games, and each 7 firm got the exact industry market share that they actually had. This is an almost improbable distribution and could be only done by planning to avoid the competition, and that is why it is known as bid rotation. In 2016, India's Competition Commission investigated that there were 8 companies who were applying for government hospital contracts for medical supplies in that government hospital. And all these 8 medical companies had decided their own jurisdictions that this will be the area of first company, this will be the area of second company, just like Sultan Mirza does in Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. They divide the area and no one interferes in other people's area. So companies would submit aggressive bids in only their prescribed jurisdictions by that cartel, and in other jurisdictions they would only submit courtesy bids. This type of bid rigging is known as market allocation, and for this particular case it affected 412 hospitals, which made sure that all these companies get their proper diets to fulfill their business requirements. In 2020, investigations revealed that developers were using phantom companies to participate in the auction to create artificial bidding activities in the foreclosed property auctions. In one documented case, a prime South Bombay property received 14 bids, and out of that 11 came from shell companies, which were actually controlled by the eventual winner. This is known as phantom bidding. This ensures in the eyes of the authority that a lot of people are participating in the bid, but in actual there is only one winner, which was pre-decided, as other companies were shell companies. It makes sure that you get the bid 100% of the time. Indian Railways network discovered a very sophisticated bid winning operation. So railways requires a lot of spare parts. What the companies did is, let's say there is a nut required by railway, let's say there is this steel required by railway, let's say there is this braking system required by railway. So what all these 7 companies decided is that each component was given to one particular company and the rest of the companies stayed away with that particular component. So it made sure that everyone got their fair piece of railway supply while not getting affected by the competition, where eventually they would have to supply at the lower prices if there was more competition. So in a nutshell, they divided the railways contracts on the basis of components. And this kind of bid rigging technique is known as product allocation, which ensures that each company gets their fair contract assigned.